Daddy got the slim caddies. Right said, no, babe, that's shady. But he couldn't stay away. Plugged it in and hit play. Hey!
Hello gamers and welcome back. My name is JPixel, JPXL for Gamer Fridge. And today we are getting back to modding the iRcade. I started this over a year ago, but I'm finally getting all the parts I need. And this is going to be part 5 of modding the crap out of my iRcade. So today we are going to take a look at the Glenn's deck that he made for this. And then we're going to take a look at his KVM Switcher that finally came in. We're going to take a look at this. I'm going to go over things I like about it, things I don't like about it, and there's definitely some things that could be improved on. Is this a simple mod? We're going to take a look at that, how easy this is to do, whether I think you should get it. And we're also going to take a look at the Viper board and what that entails, and just some quick tips. Bill's Retro Guy. He did a video just recently too, but he's got the gold, and this is the Retromania version, which has got the old G board in it. I actually like this one better. It seems to be more compatible, but we're gonna go over that too. So let's get into it right now. Let's take a look at modding the crap out of my iRcade part 5. Alright, the first thing I want to talk about is the GRS Deck, the control deck that Glenn has made for this. This is the new deck. As you can see, it's just a basic black. There is some skins you can buy for this. Recently, they have made there's companies that have made a like plexiglass one that has the graphics on. That makes it really easy. I think Bill's Retro Show also showed off something like that. That's probably the way I'm gonna go eventually. I do need to have these things labeled a little better because the arcade side of it has some different button combinations that I like to actually have printed on the plexiglass. So, or maybe I should make an instruction panel or something on here, maybe a sticker or something. But just so it makes it a little easier, we'll go over that, the reasons why for that later. But this is the deck. It's just a plain black. It does the front. I don't know if anybody's ever showed us the front. There is USB ports, and there is like these mounts that are for future reference or for future products, I guess. I shouldn't have took that out because it's not coming out. Well, we'll deal with that later. But yeah, so there's these mounts there. There's a USB right there too. So I'd like to see him maybe make like a bar or something that would put like pinball buttons on the side. Glenn, if you watch this, that'd be a cool feature, is to have a way to mount pinball. There's some mounts right there too. So I don't know if you could use that mounting screw and make something that mounts there, so we can put some buttons like the Legends have. If you look at the Legends, they have the little buttons on the side. But it'd be cool to do something like that on here to get some pinball action on there. But there is a lot to this. Besides that, of course, we have the trackball, and it lights up. I had it blue, had it red. You can't see it, but it actually looks pretty good on camera. It's actually lighter than, it's darker. The camera's picking it up darker, so that's kind of different. It has the 3-button combination. I would have preferred the 4. I'm particular to the 4. Some PC games and stuff need those extra 2. But it works. The buttons for these are, I would say, they're a little mushy compared to the OG. The OG ones are a little better, I think. But once you get used to them, I think they're okay. Just kind of compare them to the OG ones. So this is the original deck. This is what it was, the artwork, and this is kind of what Glenn's got. So I don't know. They're what they call convex. These are more rounded, and these are like inner rounded, so, or like a seated. So that's the difference there. The controller feels a little tighter. Of course, these are a ball top, and that's a bat top. You do have the option to switch, so you could go to a ball top if you want. For fighting, I like the bat, but for like Pac-Man and stuff, so that you can switch it out. You can so choice is yours on that. I think once I got used to these buttons, they were okay. This, I don't know, it's kind of a weird feeling. This wasn't a bad deck, so they didn't really skimp on it. The sticks, I almost prefer the OG one, to be honest. Some of the games respond. They're on the iArcade side. The controls just feel better. I don't know, but you get used to them. I'm not much of a stick snob. Now, the one cool feature about this is this right here, is being able to go to the 8-way to the 4-way. That's a game changer. This has changed my gameplay. All the Pac-Man stuff, all my 4-way stuff is going on this board. I already played Junior Pac-Man and got a higher score than I ever have. And I posted it on iScore on Arcades Anonymous. If you need to check that out, try to beat it. Definitely the 4-way to 8-way is definitely a game changer for me, at least. So I'm gonna put this one right here. Put that one back. Okay. So back to the deck. So it does have a trackball. Trackball is really nice. Headphone jack. I haven't really used that, but there is a switcher here. If you can hear it, see it switches. It's got that. I don't know if you can hear it, but yeah. So and on the RCade side, it will automatically switch for you. So then we got the spinners. These things are tight. They're very they spin really good. I haven't played much spinning games, but I did play some Tempest with this, and it works perfectly. And I have 2 of them. I don't know really what the point of having 2 of these, to be honest. Is there a 2-player Pong? I guess you can play Pong. And then of course this one is what I was waiting for the switcher for, is to switch back and forth between the arcade and the iArcade. So this is the Viper. So that's the Viper, and then you can switch it over to the standalone arcade. And I think I don't even have it on. I don't know if it is on. You got your coin button, your 2-player, your power, and then I do like that the power's over here. That's one thing on the original deck that was really easy to hit. It was just one of these buttons. So power that on real quick, see if that works. You get your menu button, your volume up and down. So it's basic. It feels pretty good. It's basic size. I already got some scuffing on there, so it's kind of, you know, I haven't played it much, but there, like, I don't know if you can see it, there's already some scuffing on there. So, but yeah. That just turned purple. I don't know why. But it actually looks more like this. I don't know why this is. It looks exactly the same as this, but it's this dark color. But see, so it does work with the arcade really well. I do have the mystery encoder board on this, so it has a bunch of extra games. So got some shooters and streaming. You can do the Steam Link, which is really cool because then I can link up to my computer and play games on Steam over here, and that's been a lot of fun. So as far as being able to replace the original, I would recommend this just for the fact of this switcher right here, being able to switch between the two. I know you can buy the the switcher and just put it on the original if you want to do that, and you have the mystery encoder board. That is an option. So there is that. That's the deck. Now, what I would like Glenn to kind of come up, because we're gonna go over the Viper board and stuff. I'd like him to do something with this, because this thing, now that I have it, you know, it's a standalone, and this is pretty much the guts. you know, of it, and making it some kind of adapter or something for these, so we can have another deck and be able to utilize this and maybe put like a Viper board in this and use repurpose this with a portable system of some sort, like these Pandora's boxes. I was thinking about taking the Pandora's box, like one of these, maybe to gut that out and use this, because I think these are better sticks and stuff. So that might be a future project, or you know, that'd be something to think about to utilize these, because I collect a lot of decks for some reason. You know, I do have the Atari one that does basically the same thing, and then we got the Legends Ultimate one that basically the same thing. So if we can convert this into something similar, I like to repurpose that somehow, because this thing is solid, man. This thing is solid. Good stuff. So that's the deck for the Glenn's Retro Shows deck, so the GRS deck. All right, so this is the Switcher. These just started coming out. I know some people have been getting some damaged ones, and I know he's been taking care of them. I'm not gonna show you how to install it per se, but I'll just show you kind of where everything goes. If you want to take a look at this and pause it, this is how it should be mounted on the deck. See, with this part towards this side, back. This is gonna be the back, but it's kind of hard to tell. If you watch Glenn's video, he actually did it the opposite. There's no real good video showing you how to install this. So if you want to know how this is installed, you have the mystery encoder. This is where you plug in the G. So this is G. If you don't have this, there's an adapter that plugs into one of the stands here and puts that USB there. So if you're wondering where that goes, G goes there, J goes right there. I guess you can mess that up, so make sure it's pinned in right. This is kind of the reason why I waited, is because this converts this is native controls instead of USB. So this converts to USB, I guess. So this is part of the brains, and I think that goes, yeah, right here. It goes into this board over here. So so it's just the extender. It's kind of like a daisy chain. So the deck goes into this, and it daisy chains into here. So that's kind of what they're doing there, I think. I don't know. As far as let's see here, HDMI F goes into the board, and then K is the power. K is the power right here, and then you mount this on here. You screw it on here. Everything else is mounted. You shouldn't have to touch anything else, but that's basically how you do it. I had a fiddle with it, and then C back there goes into the monitor. Don't forget to do that. That is probably that's the biggest pain in the butt right there. I had to like reroute. I rerouted it down here, made it easier to get to, because he had it kind of wrapped in here coming out the middle, and I just made it so I could pull this thing out. I'm not going to put the back on. And then the speakers, and this is probably the biggest problem on the speakers, go up here, so they plug natively. I wish I knew what this adapter was, because I did my other video and I just shoved wire in there, but Glenn figured out how to get those caps. So those are cool. I would like to know what those caps are. That way you didn't have to touch the soldering. He bypasses amp right here. So this goes into the amp right here, and I think this is the biggest contention of this whole thing, is this amp. So we'll go over that. As far as the Viper board's right here, and the SD card right there. If you're wondering where the SD card is, That's where all the games are stored. It's right there. So that's where your SD card is. So this basically, what this basically is one of these. So if you get these, as you see some of my other videos, I've already done this. It pretty much puts HDMI and then the headphone jack. It pulls the audio from there, and he's able to route the headphone jack into a amp. So that's basically what this is right here. This is what that part is. If you see, it's basically the same thing. That's just like a standard part. And then it's got the power for the lamp. So there's a little power strip right here that powers the lamp and the monitor right there. So that's what that's for. So that's how you see it. And then right here is the audio, and then that's the Viper board on the bottom. So this is there. And this right here is probably the thing he fabricated. This probably really spent most of the time on, was this, converting everything so it would switch. This is probably basically the switcher part. So this was the part he had to engineer, which he did a good job, I think. They did come with extra parts for the gold. They had like this extra wire. I pulled that out. I don't need it, so I pulled that crap out of there because there's just too much stuff in there. This thing is like Spaghetti City. If you are not comfortable opening up like backs of cabinets, this is not for you, because this definitely is not for beginners whatsoever. Unfortunately, the only paperwork that came with this was this, and it basically told you to go online. You're gonna want to keep this because it actually has quite, for the RCade side of it, the Viper side, you're gonna actually need this information. This is actually very useful information that I had to read through to figure out some stuff. It says on here there's a switch right here. So the switch right here, and I've heard that people had issues with this on the default. So you can default to the Viper or the iArcade. So depending on which one, I think A is going to be the iArcade, B is going to be the Viper. So if you want to have that defaulted, you just do that switch. But I've heard people had a problem with that little switch, and that actually was damaged in shipping. So double check that. That's probably the first thing I would check if you get one of those. Just check that right there. The game switching, the gamepad switching. So I guess I'm not sure what that's about. Enable disable gamepad switching. So I don't know why you'd want to disable that. That don't make no sense. Anyway, one thing I'm gonna ding him on is he didn't. He said environmental notice. I think he's just being cheap, to be honest, because the deck came with the instructions, and if anything really needed printed instructions, is this thing. This thing definitely needs printed instructions, and I would have liked to see that, because a lot of people, I'm sitting there staring at a TV screen going back and forth, because this thing was not as intuitive as the deck. I know, I figured it out. I'm not saying it's super hard, but just people have different levels of understanding, and this is a little more advanced than most people would be used to. Now, I did do a splitter. If you ever want to do a splitter and have a splitter up both, you're gonna want to pull off of this, plug in the splitter here, and then split it and plug one side and then your monitor. So if you ever want to do a recording, that is where you do it. So this one right here, you pop that off and put a splitter on it, and then plug this into the splitter and plug your second monitor into the splitter. So if you want to do some game recording or something right there, that's where you do it right there, and that will go to a capture card or something like that. So you can, and then it'll capture both of them. It'll capture this one and then the Viper right down there. So that is a look at the board. It has more USBs right here. I'm just trying to think of anything that people would want to know about. This right here is this is probably gonna make me tear this whole thing apart, is this stupid amp right here. You cannot have this very loud at all. You literally, I would say, just ever so slightly turn that. That's enough power. This thing will blow the speakers up if you have this too high. This sucker is loud. And I and many others are having a buzz. This thing is buzzing right now. Something is interfering with this, and I've been trying to move cables and everything. I heard it has something to do with a fan. There's no fan on this thing. They're talking about a fan on that deck. I would have liked to see this thing away from all this electronics. This is how iArcade did it. They put it up here, away from the main board. I think something in this area is interfering, making it have a buzz. I do not know what. And it's literally, I might just end up bypassing this whole thing and maybe using what I originally had. I don't know if there's a way to use the original or patch into one of these. It is irritatingly bad. So that's going to be a ding on it. The buzz is not good. It doesn't matter. It's not as bad as the arcade side, but the iArcade side, it's really noticeable. There's some kind of interference going on that I can't pinpoint. And a lot of people are having it, so I'm not sure what's causing it. I think having all these components like this so close together and dealing with audio, it's just the nature of the beast that something's going to be interfering with it. Having things like separated is probably a better way to do it. As far as build quality and everything, I would have liked to see it more calm. Just, I don't know. Just look at it. It's logically built. I thought it might be in the box per se and labeled better. As far as I understand that you had to do it for 2 different systems, and I think that was kind of the issue. It works. I'm just not impressed by the presentation. The presentation, it gets a little low marks on this thing. It's ugly. It's an ugly looking thing, man. This is gross. But looks ain't everything. I understand that. Sometimes you just gotta get it to work. I think Glenn bit off more than he can chew on this one because there was some technical issues. But I give him props though. He got it done. It's working, but it's not gonna be plug and play. Some definitely some things that we're gonna have to adjust on here if I can't get rid of that buzzing. So that's a look at the switcher. Let's go ahead and look at the software side of it now. All right, so now I'm going to show you off a little bit of the software and how it interacts with the deck a little bit. As you can see, we're on the iArcade side of it, and as you notice, everything looks good. Everything looks decent. It works like it supposed to. I have the mystery encoder, team encoder board, so I'm able to put things like Tekken 3, Virtual Fighter, X-Men on there, and they work good. So that part of it is working. I can do things like shooters, put the real NFL Blitz on there. Got the streaming with the Steam Deck, and then beat 'em ups. You got things like Turtles that you can play online, so you're using like standard APKs, and so this part is the cool thing about the iArcade part. It is Android, so this is going to be more Android based. So that's so anything Android wise is going to be able to have a better chance working on this side of it. So that's why you still like it. I still love the iArcade interface. I love how they can like you can go into it, and it's snappy. You hit the menu button, and like it's loading right now. You hit that menu button. You can pause it, get right out of it, and go right back to it. I love that about it. Being able to just kind of kick out of here and then go right back into it. The interface. This interface is probably one of the best. I mean, it doesn't look pretty, but as far as like usability, I still, as a multi-cade, this is probably the best multi-cade interface I've ever used. It's not the prettiest, but it's, as far as functionality, being able to just get into another game really quick and just go. I love that about it. So having this option still is nice. I do appreciate that. I can just we can get right into it. We can go. I mean, I can pause. See, it just get right out of it and go to Virtual Fighter. So if you haven't played, anybody who has these things knows how good it is. But again, so there is that. Now, being able to, on this side, do the 4-way to 8-way, you just hit that button. I don't know if that's showing up. See, it changes color. Red, it's 8-way, and then 4-way, just like that. So that part of it works. Now let's get into the arcade side of it things. So if you hit this button right here, so right's going to be the iRcade, and then turns green for the Viper. So the first thing you're going to notice is the volume. So I know on Bill's thing said you can't control the volume with the buttons. You can. There is a way to do it. As you can see, I'm doing it right now, and it's still moving. This comes in 3 different control modes. So to do this, the volume up and volume down button right here, so the 2 middle ones right here, hold those down for, they say 5 seconds, I do it for like 10 and let go. It's gonna cycle through, I'll do a close-up. It's gonna cycle through, it's gonna be up here. It's gonna go into this mode, so there's a mode that you can switch to. So this is kind of like the middle one. It's gonna say configure controller. Now what you do is you just kind of hold it down again. There's 2 modes that will control these. So you hold it down again, let go. You see it went away up here, and then we're gonna go. All right, so now it's gonna say 2. There's a little icon up here that says 2 joystick symbols. That's what you're looking at. That's going to be your standard. Click out of that. Now in this mode, it's going to be the Xbox 360 mode, and this is the one you want to be in to play the games. But in this mode, the volume doesn't work. So that's the default. But to get it to work, again, you hold them 2 down, and this will go away. And then you can control it, and then you kind of like cycle. There's 3 different modes. So that's a little tip, is to cycle through that, and you can use the volume without those. A little janky. I'm hoping to get that fixed, but they said it's because of the Xbox controller drivers that make it so you can't do those. So that's a limitation here. As far as the operating system, there is a game downloader. You hit the 1-player button, it's going to give you the arcade menu, and then you go down to game settings. It's funny which ones. So A is the select on this one, and then you scroll all the way down. So it's using RetroArch, but if you go to the game downloader and then you pick your system that you want, a lot of them aren't in here. Like if you went Daphne, I mean, it's going to search, and it says no games. I like to know where they're scraping it. I would like to know if I could have my own server or something and point it to that I could just have my own stuff. I don't know another way to get games on here yet, except for pulling out the SD card and copying them over. But I know for sure there is some MAME ones, so we can go into MAME. You know all the legalities of this, and it's going to say, hey, if you don't own it, don't download it. They don't have any affiliation to whatever this is, blah, blah, blah. You know what you're doing. Only download stuff you own. Okay, download selected games. So what you got to do is go to select games to download. So you go here first. Oh, and if you go back, you can say save to internal or the SD card. So that's where you can change it. So I don't know how much memory is on the internal. That'd be interesting. Select games to download, and then you go from here. So what I was looking for was stuff that would work kind of with the unique controllers of this. There's no search, so you kind of got to go alphabetically. See Arkanoid. So Arkanoid uses the. So I think Revenge of Doe is really good. So we'll select that. We'll just use that as an example, and then we select it, and then you hit the B button as back, and then you can hit save to internal. So internal, we'll say internal, and then download selected games, and it will download. It'll just tell you how to download it. And then you say, and then it'll ask you to reload the list. It'll do like a refresh. Let's say you want to set this up to use your spinner thing. So what you do is I believe 2-player. You hit the 2-player button, and then you go to input settings. What was it? Input settings, light guns and trackball. Make sure the system is on that, and then make sure default optical device is your mouse and spinner. So that will make that work. If it's a trackball, put the trackball. So depending on which one you're using, you go back, and then it should work. Okay. So that's how I got this. And so I do have a lot of these set up, like Marble Madness will work with we'll do Marble Madness real quick. So I just basically did. So what I did is I took it so I could take this off and kind of have room on this side. So yeah, this definitely works. You see? And let's get going. Get it going. There we go. So Marble Madness works. To kick out of a game, you have to hit the menu button in player 1. So that's another thing. That 2 combination right there will kick you out of a game. So if you hold those 2, it'll kick out. See, those are the combinations and stuff you're going to want to know. So that works. And another thing I want to show you is the automatic switcher thing for the 4 to 8. So I'm going to put it's on the 8 right now. So red's 8 and blue's 4. But watch what happens when I hit Junior Pac-Man. It should automatically switch. So it automatically switched to a 4-player. So that's a really cool feature of this, is that it automatically switches like that. So then you do your coins, and then you hit start, and it makes a night and day difference having the 4-way. Playing these 4-way games, definitely able to control a lot better. I'm able to see. Usually you can't hit that middle. Doing a middle one like that. See, being able to do that. Yeah, this game is hard, man. These guys run away as soon as you can. So definitely improves your game. If you ever have tried this one, you can definitely play a lot better. With the 4-way. So this alone is a win in my book. Let's see if I can get them all. And that's how you do right there. So yeah, so the 4-way works. Yeah, that's the RCade interface. It can just kind of, you got Super Nintendo. I've only played with the MAME stuff right now. I'm going to be playing some more. There is a web browser. My next mod probably will be the monitor, changing that monitor. Now there is a known issue now that when you go back to the arcade, the iArcade side, I think you get one shot at this. See, you got one shot and everything looks fine. If you go back now, this is what happens. And this is when I was doing my other mods, I had the same issue. Now when I go back to the arcade, it's gonna mess up the screen. See, yep. You gotta get one shot back, and then when you switch it again, it's gonna kind of crop that screen. That's a known issue, and it won't reset until you power down and come back. But yeah, so that's the GRS Deck. I kind of give the Switcher, because it's so complicated, maybe a 6.5 out of 10 as far as if I was going to give it some kind of rating, because it's so complicated and it's not exactly plug and play. The buzzing is a big issue for me, having it buzz like that. It's not buzzing right now. It just kind of comes and goes. If I can kind of pinpoint what's causing that, I'm going to definitely work on that. As far as the RCade, I'm really interested in playing with that. I like to figure out if there's, I'll make a video if there's a way to wirelessly add games to it instead of pulling out the card, because then you gotta, if you got these things lined up and you don't want to be pulling out the card. Keeping that volume down, and the volume thing, just check that volume trick out, and I'll probably make a short on that too. If you have any questions, I can try to help you. There's Discords and there's Facebook groups and stuff. There's people out there that'll help you out. Definitely hit up Glenn if you have any issues with the physical stuff. The next mod, again, like I said, monitor and probably that graphic interface. I'd like to get some of those combos, like showing that the exit would be those two, would be the player one in the menu, and doing the volume trick to do a cycle through. I think those are important, and then being able to get into the menu by hitting like the player one, player two. So those are the things that if you step away, you're gonna forget, and then you have to like remember what you do. That's why I kind of make these videos, so I actually go back and watch them so I can figure out what I did. So I know this video is long, but I just kind of want to go over everything. If you have any questions, if you think, what do you think of this? Do you think it was worth it? If you have one, I'd like some feedback on what you guys think. If you have questions that I can figure out, I'll try to help you. Thanks, Glenn, for making this, because this thing is awesome. I'm looking forward to the Viper. Again, I would like to see something made for the original deck, that maybe we can do something with that. I think throw a Viper in that thing, get a little adapter for that, and we got two, and we can always use more, right? Always use more of these. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
So it's getting high, but she's giving him the side eye, right? Slim Katie, Slim